Hey loves, welcome back to our channel and welcome to part 2 of this video. If you haven't watched part 1, please, I'm going to link it in the description box and in the comment section. I'm going to pin it in the comment section so you can click on it and you can watch, so you better understand where I'm coming from, where I'm headed to. Part 1 was basically, we're just talking about the things to consider before actually purchasing a land, before you handing the money on buying a land. And this second part, we're going to be talking about the real practical steps that go on in acquiring a land certificate. So again, if you haven't watched part 1, please make sure you do watch it, because you're gonna better understand what this part 2 is about. So for my goodies who have watched part 1, let's dive right into part 2 without wasting much of your time, okay? Again, please pardon my voice, okay? I have a cold and it's actually disturbing my voice. My voice is gonna be waving, gonna be up and down, just fluctuating, but please understand me and bear with me. I have cold, but irrespective, I'm still gonna pass this value on to you guys, okay? So the first thing you're supposed to consider when trying to acquire a land certificate is to know the type of land you want to acquire a land certificate over. Now, there are basically two types of lands, and I'm not going to go detailing into this because it's going to make this video so complex and it's going to make it cumbersome. And I'm trying to keep this video as simple as possible so that even the smallest child can understand me and run with it. But I'm just going to say it and we'll move forward from there. There are basically two types of lands that exist. You have national land and state land, and under that they have subcategories. Under state land, you have state private land and you have state public land. And under national lands, you have first category and second category. Now, the first category of national land is land that was not developed before 1974. And under the second category, you have land that was developed after 1974. So 1974 is the cutoff point under state land. That's the cutoff point. That's how you know which land falls under the first category or the second category. Now, under the second category, you have individual land, or what we call private land, and then you equally have non-private land. Like I said, this is so cumbersome and it's so like bulky. I'm not gonna go further into this. I just had to say that to put that out there, just so you understand that there are different kinds of land. But I'm going to break it down for you on the steps to acquiring a land certificate under 3 major procedures, right? I'm going to give you 3 major procedures that will fit in to whatever kind of land you want to acquire a land certificate over. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I'm going to give you, for better explanation, I'm going to give you 3 methods you can use to cook stew, or you can use to cook eru, like just for you to understand. So I'm going to give you 3 procedures you can use to acquire a land certificate that will work perfectly for whatever type of land you're trying to acquire a land certificate for, be it state land or national land that has been developed before 1974 or land that has been developed after 1974, or state private land or state public land. Whatever the kind of land, this procedure works just fine. You just have to choose the kind of land and choose the procedure and you're good to go, right? Now, if it's a government land you're trying to acquire a land certificate over, you're going to compile a file, and in that file you're going to have the following items. Please excuse me. In that file you're going to have the following items. The first thing, you're going to have an application letter applying that you want to possess that particular land. The next thing you're going to have is the preface proposal, and you have to have a letter from him giving you that land, the site plan of that plot of land given to you by the surveyor. A surveyor is going to do you a site plan of that land. That as well is going to be in that file. And again, you're going to go to the lands ministry of lands, and you're going to get some forms that are going to give you there, which you're supposed to fill, and those forms are going to be inside that file as well. And lastly, the estimated cost of whatsoever you want to do on that piece of land is going to be included in the file. So when you've compiled all these documents I've listed, you now take it to the SDO, and these documents are supposed to be forwarded to the minister by the SDO. When the minister receives this document, he now signs a decision telling you the price to be paid on that piece of land to the revenue collector. Remember, this is a government land you're trying to acquire, right? So it's the minister who tells you the price you have to pay for that piece of land. So he's going to sign a decision telling you the price, and you have to pay to the revenues collector. It's government property, right? So that's where you're going to pay the money. Now after this, you're going to compile another file again, and in this file you're going to get forms that are going to be given to you in the lands office. You're going to get forms that are going to be given to you from there, and that's what you're going to put in this new file, and you compile it and give it to the SDO. The SDO now has to forward it again back to the minister. Now when the minister receives this second set of documents, he now signs what we call an arrêté, or in English what I can say an order. Yeah, he now signs an arrêté. That's how they call it in French, but for better understanding in English, he signs an order and he sends it back. Now when you receive the arrêté, you now take it for it to be stamp duty or to be registered in the Department of Taxation. After it has been registered from the Department of Taxation, you now take it to the land registrar, who then establishes a land certificate for you. Now in most cases, every division has one land registrar, except in the case of Douala and Yaoundé, which have more than one, but in most cases you have one land registrar. So that's where you're going to take the documents to, who is going to now establish your land certificate. Now these are the steps you're going to follow if you're acquiring a government land. And a quick gossip here that I'm giving you guys here is that at every stage you're taking it to the SDO. For the SDO to forward it to the minister, you have to give him small money. Now there is no exact amount which you give him, but we know it happens, right? That's how you fasten up things for things to get done. You have to give him small money, but this is not written in the books. Please don't take this and say, oh, this is not written in the books. In the books, what I have here, like what I said in part 1, this is the exact what is written by the law on how to actually acquire a land certificate. And there is nowhere in these pages that says you have to pay any money for anybody to forward any documents to Yaoundé. But we know that for those documents to be forwarded to Yaoundé, if we're being honest here, like I'm trying to be honest in this video, I'm trying to give you guys the tricks and tricks of actually obtaining a legit land certificate. You have to give those small amounts for your documents to be forwarded in Yaoundé, but it's not written in the books, fam. Please don't misquote me somewhere and say, oh, I said that it's in the law of Cameroon. It's not in the law of Cameroon. I'm just giving you what happens in the field. Remember, I told you that from the beginning. I'm going to give you what happens in the field. So now let's move over to private land. How do you do now to actually obtain a land certificate if you're acquiring a private land? The first thing you have to do is you have to fill a form in the DO's office, not the SDO's office. Remember when I was talking about the government land, I said SDO's office. But yeah, you have to fill a form in the DO's office requesting that you want to acquire a land certificate over your piece of land. DO now makes a calendar of the day the land consultative board is going to visit your land. That is the DO himself inclusive, and the land consultative board, which consists of a variety of people, are supposed to go and visit the land you intend on making a land certificate on. Again, quick gossip I'm gossiping with you guys. At this stage, you have to give the DO what we call fuel money. So if you're the kind of person that if you go there and you want everything to be in order and say, oh, the law does not say that, it's not written in the books, I'm supposed to pay you money, then you'll just sit there and the plot of land will be looking at you. Nobody's going to check it out. Nobody's going to do you anything. It's not going to move forward, basically. So quick gossip here. I'm giving you the tricks. You have to give him what is known as fuel money for him to fuel his car and go to see the piece of land. And then you have to pay, I'm even like trying to reduce my voice. You have to pay the land consultative board differently. You have to pay them for going to see your land. Now again, in the books, it's not written that way. In the book, it says it's free. It's his work, right? He has to go and do it. The land consultative board, according to the books, you don't have to pay them anything. That's what they are supposed to do. But in the field, practically, that does not happen, you give the dealer what is known as his fuel money to fuel his car and get to your location, and then you pay the land consultative board differently. Those are two separate budgets that do not merge. Okay, so don't go and merge it, because your things are not going to work that way. So yeah, just to put that out there, quick gossip. Please let it remain between you and I, because I'll just give you these tips and tricks, because you guys are my subscribers and I love you guys, and I don't want you guys to get frustrated in the whole process, because this process can actually get really frustrating. If you don't know the right things to do, you don't know the right steps to take, you can get really frustrated and burnt out. Now, after this board, land consultative board has gone to your plot, the area which you want to make a land certificate over, and they have done their verifications and they are satisfied, they will now map out the plot, as in planting pillars, demarcating your own plot, as in your own side, your own portion where you have bought and where you want to obtain a land certificate over. Excuse me, they now plant pillars there, demarcating your own section. After they have done this, the surveyor now produces a site plan. You get a surveyor, any surveyor of your choice, any surveyor can do this. He now maps out a site plan of that piece of land, and you pay him different. This is not included in whatsoever you're doing with the deals and the land consultative board. The surveyor's budget is different. Every surveyor is going to charge you differently depending on the size of the plot. He's going to charge you depending on the size of the plot. And most surveyors, talking out of my experience and my father's experience, what he has said, most surveyors start taking from at least 150k and above. So just prepare your mind that the surveyor is going to ask you from at least 150k and above, depending on the size of your piece of land you're trying to acquire, right? You're trying to make a land certificate over. That money you've paid him, he produces your cadastral plan now and the necessary survey documents, the other survey documents that go together with this site plan or cadastral plan that he intends produces for you after you've paid that money. Now you compare all these documents which have been given to you, which you have paid for and you have collected. You now take them to the regional delegations of land for a publications to be made. Now they're going to make a publications in the monthly bulletin. Now the bulletin is just something that they write down those who are wishing to acquire a land certificate over a piece of land, and they make it public for the general public to be able to see, so that anybody who has any disagreement or grievance could come up and tell them that no, this piece of land, I own it. This, don't give the land certificate to so and so person. So they make it public, and they make it every first of the month, so it stays up in public for 30 days. That is 1 month. Just the same thing, like, for better understanding, let me say, if you're going to register for a civil wedding, you know how you do it there. You go and register, and they have to put up you guys' name for anybody who does not want you guys to get married to come and say it before a particular time expires, before they can now say, okay, you guys can be wedded. That's the same thing that happens in the land section. They put it up for anybody who has any differences to come up and say it. And if after 30 days nobody comes up to say anything about you acquiring a land certificate over that piece of land, your documents are now forwarded to the competent divisional land registrar, who actually now establishes a land certificate for you. Now, and the third procedure I'm going to discuss about is acquiring a land certificate for a piece of land which already has a land certificate. I don't know if you understand that. For example, somebody owns 1 hectare of land, and he already has his land certificate of that 1 hectare, but you don't want to buy the entire 1 hectare of land. Maybe you want to buy 1 hectare is 1,000 meters. Maybe you want to buy 500 meters square from that 1 hectare. The person already has a land certificate, right, of the 1,000 hectare. So you now have to make your own land certificate, carving out that 500 hectare of land which you have bought. Do you understand? I hope you're understanding me. I hope I'm being clear enough in this video. So yes, you have to make a land certificate now, demarcating your own portion inside that 100 hectare. That's just an example. So the first thing you're supposed to do under this stage, under this procedure, is to get a surveyor who carves out your own site plan from the motherland certificate. Please, I don't know if you guys can get me. I'm really sorry, the rain is really getting heavier and intense, thunder, lightning, but again, I'm still struggling to talk as loud as I can because I have a cold. I don't know if the rain is actually like bringing down my voice or anything, but I just hope that you guys can hear me. I hope I'm really being loud enough because I'm really trying to really shout and the rain is increasing, but I still just have to finish this video. Okay, so back to what I was saying, just to put that out there, in case you don't, at one point you're not getting me, please, I'm sorry, it's the rain. Okay, and back to what I was saying. So after the surveyor carves out your own site plan from the motherland certificate, he then goes ahead to plant your own pillars on the section of land which you have bought. Now when the surveyor has done this, you now have to go and collect the documents from the surveyor, the site plan and all that stuff which he has done. You now collect the documents and go to a lawyer, any lawyer of your choice, for him to now make you a deed of conveyance. That's familiar to me because I studied law. The lawyer then makes you a deed of conveyance following the documents which you brought to him from the surveyor. If you didn't study law, sorry, I guess that word is going to be strange for you, but I studied law so I can understand what a deed of conveyance is. And let me show you guys a sample of a deed of conveyance. This is what a deed of conveyance looks like. This is what it is attached to the last page of the land certificate, the last page actually. This is what a deed of conveyance looks like, and it must not look the same like this. This is just a sample I'm trying to show you guys here for you to know what to expect or what the lawyer should draw up. You have all these piecework for the land stuff up here, and then you now have the following a deed of conveyance drawn up by barrister whosoever stating who you're buying the land from and who the buyer is. The first paragraph, you have the seller and you have the buyer, and then you have now the description of the piece of land. The third paragraph now starts with the description of piece of land situated at so place. They give you the exact description, the meter squares and everything. I'm really shouting. And then down here they now describe in what is in the piece of land, on the north, on the south. Is there a road in front of it? Is there a road passing by it? Who your neighbors are, and all that stuff is being described here. And then you now have the volume where it was being done. As you can see here, Limbe on so and so date. This is just a sample deed of conveyance. Online on Google there are so many kinds of deed of conveyance. This is not like a state and fast standard deed of conveyance for lands that you're trying to get. Any lawyer can draw up a deed of conveyance differently, but those are the main things that are supposed to be in the deed of conveyance. So just so you know, right? For those who do not study, I'm just putting this out here for those who do not study law like me, for you guys to understand what I'm talking about. I don't want it to be like I'm talking to myself and I'm the only one who can understand. Do you understand? So yeah, after the lawyer now has drawn you up your deed of conveyance, the next thing you have to do is to stamp duty that deed of conveyance at the taxation office. Now to stamp duty this deed of conveyance at the taxation department, you now get the exact amount which you are supposed to pay. Now for most regions, it's only Limbe. So far so good, so far that I know of, it's only Limbe that has successfully computerized their own taxation stamp duty. The rest of the other towns have not. Boya was still trying to finish up. They had started the computerization process, but they had not finished up. I don't know if at the time I'm recording this video they must have been done with their process, but as at the time I'm recording this video and what I know just Limbe has the computerized. They just put in the meter square, how much you pay per meter square for stamp duty, and they calculate the entire meter square which you have acquired and you want to make a land certificate for. Now for example, if they say per meter square is 2.5, this is just a random example just for you to understand what I'm saying. If the computer says, once they just register it, once you bring your documents to them and they press it, they register, and it comes up on the screen and they say a meter square is 2.5, they're going to take 2.5 times 500 meters square. It's just a random example. I did not say that's the amount you pay. Please, I'm just saying that that's how it's being calculated in Limbe. Now, like I would normally do, I'm going to give you guys a quick gossip here. Some people, what smart people do to evade this money, because if you're going to follow the computerized system, you see that you're going to pay much more than if you go to register this land in an area which doesn't have a computerized system. Do you understand? So what most people do is, in order to evade this cumbersome amount which is going to be placed on you in the taxation office in Limbe, they prefer to go and register it in another place which the taxation office there has not yet computerized their own stuff. You can go to maybe Boya or Kumba or any other town which does not have the computerized system. So far so good, just Limbe has it. So that's just a quick gossip. I'm gossiping with you guys. Please don't tell another person that I told you this. I'm just telling you because I love you guys. You're my subscribers. You guys have been supporting me from day 3. You have been watching my videos and I'm grateful, and this is the least I can do to help you save those coins and give it to me for my birthday. But anyways, yeah, if you want to evade that, again, please, like I said, it's not written in the book so that you should evade. Don't come and say that Elomo from Elomo TV is saying that you should evade taxation from the government. You're not evading it. You're still going to pay that tax money, but you're just trying to evade the bulkiness of the money. I don't know, you're just trying to reduce how much you pay. Does that make sense? So it's not like you're completely evading paying tax. Nobody should come and say that very soon the government comes and arrests me that I'm advising people to evade tax. No, I did not say that. I just said you reduce it. That's what happens in the field. Those are the smart tricks and tips that happen in the field. Now, after you have done this, now you now take that document to the competent land registrar, who now establishes a land certificate for you. I hope this video was clear enough. I really tried to make it as simple as possible. So those are the 3 procedures I have given you guys on how to acquire a land certificate, like what happens on the ground, not following what they gave us in school or what the law says. And this is the law. This is what the law says about everything I said here. Is inside here. Everything I just said here is inside this law section. Whatsoever 2B1, whatever you're looking for, it is inside here. But now I just made it more practical so you can understand when you get to the field. You should not be shocked that, oh no, this is not what is in the book. It is inside here. I've just given you now, made you know some tricks that can make you fasten up your land certificate or make you better understand what happens in the field. Okay, land matters is really tricky, fam. The only thing I can do here is just to give you these tricks and tips on how to go about it, but again, you can do your part and it still doesn't turn out right? I'm just saying this so that you should be aware that things can still go wrong even if you follow all these things. The only thing I can tell you is that you should just do your part and leave the rest to God. Okay, follow what I have said and do what's right. Pray about it and leave the rest to God, because trust me, land matters are complicated. Land matters can take your head. People can kill you over a piece of land. It is so complicated. It is full of witchcraft. If we're being honest, it is full of witchcraft and all that stuff. So all what I can tell you is to be extremely careful. Please be extremely careful. For those in the diaspora, please do not be ignorant of the fact that wicked people exist, or do not be oblivious of the fact that witchcraft exists in our African society, or in Cameroon to be precise, because I was talking about Cameroon all through this video. Please do not be oblivious to that fact. It does exist. Wicked people do exist. So don't go there and you're trying to acquire a piece of land in somebody's village and you're trying to speak English and make like, oh no, you're based in the US, you know what things are supposed to be done, this country is like this country is like that. No, don't do that. Just do your part, pray about it, and hopefully it turns out right. Now, before ending this video, I just want us to go through what an original land certificate looks like. Now, this is just for educational purposes, because I know how some Africans watching me can be so mediocre in their manner of thinking and feel like, oh, this girl wants to show us that what, she wants to show us that what. I'm not here to show off anything. I'm just here trying to help you. So I just hope you get the memo and not coming from the point of trying to show off, because I know some Africans are funny. So yeah, this is what the front page of an original land certificate looks like. You have it in French and you have it in English, copy of land certificate, and you have the number registry of the land property in Limbe, the volume. Let's go now into it. Now you have all these stamp duties, like what I was talking about, from the taxation office. What I was talking about now these are the various stamp duties, and they cost 1,000 francs each at that time. Please, Cameroon, everything has increased. Don't say that I said it cost 1,000 francs. Everything has increased now. I think it shows here that 1,000 francs, but when you go to the place exactly to go and buy, one will cost you about 1,200, if I'm not mistaken. Those are usually certified documents to write concours. Please come and leave it down in the comment section and tell us how much exactly is it now for a stamp duty, because the last time I certified documents to do any government stuff, I actually paid 1,200 francs, and on the stamp it was written 1,000, but we know the 200s or the 50s or 100 francs goes to personal coffers. So it is what it is in our country. But anyways, having said that, having put that out there, now this is what the first page looks like. I hope you guys can see. You have the nature and stability of the property. That's the first thing there. And then you have the situation where the land is situated. It tells you gives you the exact meter square, the exact, how do they say it, gives you the exact quantity of land here, and here now tells you what is by the land. If there is a road passing by the land, the neighbors and whosoever is the neighbor, this is what is written up here. And then you now go down to the name of the buyer, the name of the owner now, because as per this land certificate, you already own the land. You're no longer a buyer, you already own the land. So now you go down to the full names. You have it written in both English and French, right? So up here is in French, nom, prénom, and you have names or full names of the buyer and the person's address and the place of birth, date of birth, all those information in your ID card. You have to fill them here. All the information found in your ID card, national ID card, you fill them here. And down here you have the date it was being done and the date it was being delivered and to whom it was being delivered. So here you have the name of the person, like as you can see. And then you have at the bottom end here, excuse me, I'm really trying to shout. I'm battling Qatar rain. Excuse me, I'm really trying to shout so you guys can get me, because the rain is really getting loud and my voice is not good due to cold. Down here you now have at Limbe on the --2020. You have all the stamps and the signature. So this is what an original land certificate, this is what the front page will look like I've already explained it. And then now you have subsequent pages there now, excuse me, subsequent pages for subsequent uses. I think that's all. And this is a site plan. Did I show you guys this? This is an example of a site plan drawn by the surveyor, and you can see it has stamp duty again on it. If you were keen in the video, I told you the surveyor draws you out the site plan, and then you have to take whatever document the surveyor gives you to the taxation department. So it has stamp duty on it. So this is just a typical site plan of the piece of land. It just shows you, those who can read plans can better understand this. And then you still have the name, the cadastral plan, the number, this is the name here, and all that stuff. Basically that's it. I hope this video has been so helpful to you. In as much as things happen in the field that are slightly different from what is in the law, they still follow what is in the law. Just a little bit of slight changes that make it to look like there are two different stuff. So if you know what happens in the books, it's an added advantage onto you, and knowing what happens in the field is an added advantage because you now know what both worlds look like. So you'll now be able to create a balance for both worlds. Okay, so hope you love this video and hope this video was helpful. Please make sure you share this video. Please excuse me, oh my god. If you stayed to this point, you are the real MVP. I'm truly grateful you stayed to this point and you watched till this point. I mean, much love from this end. Please make sure you subscribe, hit the notification button, turn up post notification bell. It It is by the subscribe button. Just click it and you just make crack. You choose all, and that is it. You get notified for all my videos. Anytime I post a new video, you're gonna be the first person to get notified, first person to watch, first person to get the juice and the content. I just brought you guys valuable content on here, so hope you love this video. I feel like I've spoken too much. My voice has gone. Anyways, bye fam. I'm going to see you unfailingly by the help of God on my next one. Bye.